Yeah, you all remember when I said that last week that one of the episodes we talked about was one of the worst of the season? I would love to go back to that doe-eyed optimism because we're talking about two episodes tonight that are just the worst and one that's actually pretty good. But man, Freak and Promise were both just absolute slogs to sit through. This is Small Talk episode 48. My name is Ryan Cam. I mean, just Freak, with the exception of a couple scenes, is just awful, and Promise is just a shitload of ass. Jacob, go.
Well, this episode, wow, this episode, this first off, this was directed by Michael Rosenbaum himself, and I'm
That
sure
dude
he
is
would
free.
not got this one. I feel like this episode belongs in like season 3 or season 2 of the series because this episode is just like this. I'm like, this episode feels like an early season episode that they just. I know they didn't probably, but it feels like they wrote this like in season 2 and they just pushed it all the way to season 6 because like we need an episode.
We'll touch on that in a little bit. Matt Wyatt, how you doing?
Doing good. I mean, I understand that this episode's not as great as we were hoping for, but I think this is like the most tolerable episode than the one in the next one we'll cover for Promise, which it was the fucking worst one out of the three. A painful episode that I was like, why are we doing this? It is such a drag. But this one got a little bit more of a pivotal of moment for Chloe discovering that now she's a meteor freak all along. And yeah, they used like Tobias as this media infected just to try to push the plot further for Chloe.
Before we dive in, I want to thank you all for watching Small Talk for 1 year. Jacob Collins brought it to our attention that we just crossed the 1 year anniversary of this show. Thank you all so much for watching. It has been a privilege to do this show with these guys every week, minus a couple off weeks and some best ofs, but life stuff, it happens. But thank you all so much for watching for a year, and we've got a little bit of this show left, so let's keep on keeping on. Starting off
I
with,
never thought we'd be on season 6 within a year. Like that to me, I always thought, well, we'll probably be by this year, next year, season 4.
Yeah,
yeah,
this would have been a long if we had to cover at least one episode per week. If we wanted to do like what Talkville did, if they wanted to keep the momentum going, but we're all about speeding up the process, and 3 episodes have been working so far.
Yeah. Oh, but don't get worried though, because guess what? Spoiler alert: we're doing one episode next season. One episode per. We're doing 22 weeks. No, I'm joking. We're not doing that. That's what Ryan's like. What? That'd be so boring. You get one bad episode, they're like, oh wow, we got to talk about this fucking episode. At
yeah,
least 3, it's a gamble. You get to like roll the dice and be like, one might be like just like this week. One is really good, and then the other two are really fucking awful. You
yeah,
imagine
exactly.
if it was one per week, it's like you have to just eat shit for 1 week, and then hopefully next week. Imagine if we did like it one a week. I mean, we'd have to freak and then promise, and then Ryan would just be angry. Like we had a bad episode last week, and then we have a bad episode this week.
It probably would have been shorter. It would have been a shorter episode if we covered one, if we had to
Yeah.
deal with a shit for about like 20 minutes.
But thank you all so much for watching for a year, and here's to the rest of our time. But let's get going. This is season 6, episode 15, called Freak.
People with meteor powers are being abducted. She's meteor infected, Clark.
You know the real reason why I was abducted, Toby. I'm some kind of meteor freak, aren't I? Please, Clark. I don't want to die. Just get it out of me.
Smallville, followed by Supernatural. All new episodes this Thursday at 8/7 Central on the new CW.
A boy who got blind during the meteor shower has developed the power to spot other meteor-infected people. He's essentially Madam Web, as Jacob pointed out in
Or
my game,
Daredevil.
and Chloe is revealed to be one of them. Meanwhile, Lana closes in on Clark's secret. So with the exception of one, maybe two scenes that legitimately made me go, ooh, okay, that's actually quite effective, this episode was just a chore. It was a chore to sit through.
But the funniest part is Michael Rosenbaum directed this episode, and he has said like he said right him and Welling almost got into it on this episode because one, Welling's a fucking prankster, and he likes to prank people on set because he thinks it's really fucking funny to take someone's storyboards and then do homoerotic drawings of the blind guy on there and then put him back in the thing. And he said, and then all of a sudden you're going through the storyboards for the scene and you're like, why is this kid looking, why this is not in the script? No, there's no way this is in the movie. Like, no, there's no way this is in the episode. He's not doing gay stuff in this episode. Like, he's a blind just sitting there. Why is he doing gay stuff in this episode? And they're like, that's not in the script at all. He goes, who would write it's draw? So then he's like, who did this? And they're like, well, Tom Welling was messing with it, the drawing board. He's like, oh. And then of course, one thing Tom Welling got him bad with was this is where he snapped because he was having like they were behind shooting. And like Allison Hannigan was Allison Mack, sorry, wrong Allison. But Allison Mack was literally like her harness broke. She was supposed to go up in the air and go down, and like her belt broke, and so they couldn't lift her up. And so then he's trying to deal with that, and like everybody's trying to fix the belt. He's even trying to fix the belt. And then like Tom Welling said, I'm gonna be a diva. I'm gonna fuck with him right now and be a diva and be like. So he walks up and goes, Rosenbaum, what's up, man? I'm ready to rap. Come on, let's get the scene going. And then he just snaps on him. He's like literally, by the way, dressed like a douche, he said, because he's like, he's bald and he's just wearing his little baseball cap with like the little headphones on. And he's just like with a little t-shirt on. And like, he just starts yelling at Tom going, can you give me 5 minutes? It says Allison's belt broke. And he says, I don't know what the scene is because you were drawing gay stuff on the fucking drawing board. And then he goes, whoa, I'm just trying. He said, whoa, I was just joking, man. Okay. Because he was just angry. Just started shouting, like, give me a sec.
It's like in Shrek 2 when Shrek is like, for 5 minutes, can you please just not be yourself? 5 minutes. But
I didn't hear about that story before. I don't remember him mentioning.
Yeah, they were doing the Smallville Comic Con panels. That's what they were talking about. Where Michael Rosenbaum said he was talking about Freak, and he said Tom Wells like, I got him good on Freak. I got him good on. Freak.
Yeah, this like Jacob said in his notes, this episode belongs in season 2 or 3, and it felt like leftover, and they were one episode short, and so they're like, here, let's do this.
This episode was written back in like a couple years in 2002. Spider-Man the movie was literally out in theaters when this episode was written. Whenever the Asian dude is out there in the alleyway, where the car pulls up, where did the henchman come from? Where he did not sense him, he just shows up randomly behind him and goes. And I'm just like, he didn't hear nobody. Like, it's just like the most like a ninja just shows up and it's just like. It's almost like it just reminds me of the scene of Batman Beyond in the first episode where Terry McGinnis is like sees like the bad guy Eric Powers show up, and then the giant henchman it looks like Kane. The just says oops, and he bumps into behind him and goes oops, but that's a cartoon. That's more realistic, believable because it's a cartoon, so it defies logic. This is a live action show, and I'm like, what the hell where did he come from? What? Where the hell did he come from? And literally all of a sudden, and then also he come out of nowhere. And also, why was Chloe going to the back alleyway? Like that's like an employee.
Oh, yeah. Well, the guy was flirting with Lana, and she wants to know that he's a psycho stalker, and she was already suspicion that he is meteor infected because he uses little parlor trick up to that bowling alley with Lana. So that's why she went out in the back way and followed them.
By the way, have you seen the photo though when they're looking at the photo of the blind guy pointing? And I'm like, there's no way someone's taking a photo of a blind guy at that time. Literally
I thought it was Chloe taking the photo with Lana when they were taking photos, and then he just got caught in the middle of the frame.
But it was positioned so
you don't remember that?
It was positioned so perfectly. It was just like, wait, because Chloe walked by him.
Chloe did not. No, Chloe didn't walk by him. He was right behind, near the entrance, and you see an angle when Chloe was taking photos in front of him. So that's what happened.
Give you this one. I'll let you have that one, but I'm just thinking.
I think you like to get into the little way too nitpicky a whole lot in this episode.
The only thing is, I'm just gonna watch. Okay, this doesn't make sense. This doesn't make sense. This doesn't make sense. But
Clark definitely uses his like super speed for evil in this one when he like or not evil, but like for like designs. Like when he steals that computer, I'm like, "Yup,
I
yup."
love when he still.
What computer? What are you talking about there, Doc?
Yeah,
I
he
just like
uses
how he does this.
he's using his super breath, like like blowing up the file as a distraction, and just use it just super speed back and forth and steal his laptop.
By the way, that doctor didn't even search him. He just did this. He just went.
And did you know that it reminded me in the show Heroes when they took when without spoiling anything, but it's pretty much a similarity where the people of the company kidnaps the people who have special abilities and they take them to study them and they erase their memory. They literally took notes from Heroes. That was literally from the show Heroes that happened before. If you've seen the show, you'll know what I'm talking about.
Never seen Heroes.
I highly recommend that show.
I've
The
heard,
first
heard
no
people say
the other
season
two
one is
the other
best.
few seasons were not the best, but I thought season one is still probably one at its peak on superhero
I've heard people
show.
say like season two is awful. Like it just
Yeah,
like
it was like during the middle of the writer's strike, and they only had a limit of the script, and they like had like 8 episodes or 10 episodes when it was supposed to be like 23.
they should have literally ended at 8 episodes and then you pick up later. That's what you
Or
do.
they should have just kept it as a standalone story and then do an anthology.
What you
Something.
know what you do? Smallville got affected too. In fact, honestly, I'm glad the writer strike happened because one, it sucked that they only got 20 episodes for season 7. But Tom Welling said he was going to leave the show. Like he literally said I had a panel. He goes, I was going to leave because like everybody else was leaving. He goes, I was going to leave too. But then he goes, when they said, but then the writer strike happened, and I'm like, and everybody was losing their jobs and everything, and I'm like, I'm going to stay on Smallville because this is job security. So that's why
thousand
he's
thousand plus IQ stuff from Mr. Welling. But this episode severely like pushes the limits of what a blind person can do. This person is not Daredevil.
he pulls a gun out. He pulls a gun like, and then he left. I'm like, how does that? Why is the guy scared? I would be scared when a blind person pulls a gun. I'm like, first off, I don't even know if you know how to use a gun. Secondly, I don't even know if you know that gun's loaded. So I'm like, I'm gonna take my fucking chances, dude. Get the fuck out of my way with that gun. That's my gun now, bitch.
That's the point that I'm getting at. I just like this kid Tobias is just like how does he know where they are? That like I said,
This is
he's not
this
Daredevil.
episode,
His senses are not like enhanced. He's just
this,
a
this, this episode would inspire Don't Breathe. This episode inspired. Just literally, I'm like just thought about when he did that. I'm like, this is literally the exact plot of Don't Breathe, you know, when the blind guy turns that power off and like now we're in his domain and then he gets the gun and I'm just like I'm just saying Freddie Alvarez took notes in Smallville this episode. He's like blind
He's
guy.
like, hold my beer.
well, I mean, we've confirmed Chris Nolan and Shyamalan are Smallville fans, so why not Fede Alvarez as well?
I mean, Lex is literally paying him to use Tobias to identify meteor infected to round them up for his little 33.1 experiment. That's pretty much what he was doing the whole time. Then the doctor just fucking goes rogue when things completely went wrong and fucking killed each meteor infected one by one when they were being low jacked.
Also, William Stryker called he wants his motivation back.
Also, I like how I do like that Chloe was being operated on. That scene was really great.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that freaked
was
me
so
out when I
terrifying.
saw it. Like when her strapped to the table, she has that like big old like thing in her mouth. It like pries her mouth open, and she gets a shot like right in her belly button, and like just
Oh
the
god, it's
needle
like, oh
goes
god,
in.
that would be a horrible feeling to get in the needle inside your belly button. I was like, what the fuck is wrong with you people?
That is
The fuck?
creepy. Like it just
I don't know how I feel about that. And
I
it
don't
was
mind.
building up a lot of the suspense. Like we we as viewers, we believe that what Tobias was reacting when he was taking the shades off, and he starts to react when he starts to identify the meteor infected. And he thought, oh, Clark would assume that he was seeing him, but apparently he didn't. He thought he was normal because he's not meteor infected. He's Kryptonian. There's a major difference. And I thought that that was an interesting suspense that it was actually Chloe that he identified.
You
I
want
did think that
trouble?
was kind of bullshit though. So I'm like, oh, now Chloe's a meteor freak. I just thought, like, come on. That's
No,
why I always hated that when they did that. And I'm like, this is stupid.
yeah.
Like, Chloe, I like the idea that Chloe wasn't. I mean, now it's like, oh, she is. It feels like that. I never liked that in the show. That was the one thing I had an issue with. Always had an issue with. It's like, because Chloe's like, she's pro meteor freak, but they make her, well, oh yeah, she has to be now.
Like, you all probably don't remember this, but do you remember in the MCU Incredible Hulk where Tim Roth is getting the injections, the super soldier serum injections for the first time? He's getting the two in his neck and then one in like his back. That scene
From
freaked
his spine. From his spine.
that freaked me out when I first saw it. Like he's getting like two big old syringes like right here.
You heard the bones cracking too. The way that they did the sound design, like, oh God, the sound mixing was like, oh, they just want us to make us feel the pain he's feeling.
When the doctor said the bone ones are gonna hurt, he was not kidding. We're getting this thing where Lois is like, or not Lois, Lana is so close to finding out the secret, and I'm just sitting there like, what? Can we please stop drawing this out? Clark either needs to tell her, or just like she never needs to find out. I'm at a point
Not
now
be
where it's just,
don't be a pussy and actually just fucking come clean to her for once,
yeah,
for crying out loud. Stop keeping us in the suspense of
like,
annoying
I'm
shit
fairly
that we have to
certain.
see. Like, come on, bro.
I'm fairly certain by the end of this season, Clark is going to tell her, which fine, but like this is just it's getting freaking tedious at this point. Everything involving Lana is becoming very
They literally just want to keep dragging out the drama. They want to
yeah.
keep dragging out the conflict and the bullshit drama. That's how they keep the show going.
I did like that the doctor was killing all the meteor freaks off. I did like that. It was like it was literally like it almost reminded me of Live Free or Die Hard. Whenever I don't know if you've seen the beginning of that movie where they get the hackers to create a virus or whatever, and then
Yeah.
they kill all the hackers off so they can't stop the
Yeah,
virus.
by blowing them up,
Yeah,
they rigged their computer from their homes, and it just had this one click of an enter button as their switch, which that
yeah.
was crazy. They literally took notes from this show.
They took notes from Live Free or Die. As I was watching that, going,
They
this
did.
Live Free or Die Hard. I've seen that movie several times. I know that's.
The director was like, I can do better.
Live
Well,
Free or Die
to
Hard
be
is
fair,
a movie.
this actually they didn't rip it off because this came out the same time Live Free or Die Hard was
No,
in
it came
theaters.
out in the summer. It came out in the summer. This episode came out in the earlier of the 2007, and they shot this episode back in late 2006.
Yeah. Live Free or Die Hard is a movie that I will die on the hill of. I think the movie's
I
better than
used to not like it, but then after seeing A Good Day to Die Hard, I'm like, oh, Live Free or Die Hard is Citizen Kane.
It just made the Citizen Kane.
Live Free or Die Hard is my second favorite Die Hard movie. I know, I know, I
Hey,
know.
I actually love the fucking movie.
It's
I don't
my
care about
third.
anybody's. I mean, it was the first Die Hard movie that they rated as a PG-13 rating until you had to watch
Kanye,
and then you had but you had to watch the unrated version to actually see him drop F-bomb and say the name, the line drop.
Yeah,
I like
exactly.
that movie. One of the best is at the ending when after he does the shoots the guy and when he does this and shoots the guy, and then you see Justin Long just goes like that, the bad guy. Then the henchman looks over, and then Justin Long pulls a pistol, goes goes and hits the cop car.
It was just
that was gangster.
even though that movie was so far stretched that a police detective is taking on a cyber terrorist and surviving everything.
The stupidest part is when he's surfing on a freaking jet.
Yeah, when he was surfing on the jet and then he slides down, like there's no scrape. Well, there is scrapes all over him. He got a lot of. He would have broken his fucking leg, but they want to make it look cool.
As someone who has seen one of those jets up close, I can confirm that that would just be impossible to do.
He would get sucked into the jet, right?
Yeah,
Like that was like a next level of fucking True Lies sequence when the fucking terrorist jumped on a fucking jet on Arnold Schwarzenegger's jet.
you're fired.
Wouldn't that have been funny if he actually got shot with that missile accidentally? You're fired. Apparently, the fighter jet didn't really take notes from watching True Lies.
And we also get a really good song at the end, which I mean, this song and the song at the very opening of Promise, like this music, the music like keeps it from being like all-time worst for me. Like the songs at the end of this and the beginning of Promise, I'm like, all right, we're at tolerable now. We're not at all-time bad right here.
Yeah, and you know what? And I think what I really don't like also about this episode, the doctor doesn't know that this is Lex Luthor's wife. I mean, like he's been to the Luthor mansion and seen her Wouldn't he know that? Like, he literally seen her. Wouldn't he know that that's like, hey, that isn't, what are you, Mrs. Luther, what are you doing here? You know, instead he's just like, who are you? Who is your friend? And I'm like, you saw her like an hour, a fucking day ago. You don't know this? I'm like, what?
Pretty out
He's
there
been
that
he's been
Lex.
living in under a rock, so I don't know what the hell he's been doing.
Like, if he kills her, Lex will have his head. And also has a, oh yeah, all right. That.
Oh, yeah.
Been in that lab for a bit too long, but we do have to get to Promise, unfortunately. So I think we can put a bow on talking about Freak. Let's go to ratings. Matt, 1 to 10. What do you have?
I think, yeah, I understand that it's not a great episode, but I think it's more tolerable than watching this next the episode Promise, which during that time I was fucking in pain when that show aired, and I was like, come on, get me through, put me out of my misery for fuck's sake. But yeah, it's an okay episode. I give it like a 6. It's okay. It's not that great, but I don't think it's as bad as what you guys made it out to be. But that's just me.
Uh, for me, I'm going to go like 4.5. I think I'm being generous on that one.
I'm just gonna say Promise for me is like a 2 out of 10.
You mean Freak?
Well, we're talking about Freak.
Freak, yeah, Freak. Yeah.
All right. Jacob Collins is 2. I'm 4.5. This one was a chore to get through. It wouldn't be as bad as that because, oh boy, we're going to get to something a whole lot worse. And let's just rip the Band-Aid off on it now. This
Oh
is
yeah, well, hold on. I'm sorry if I'm interjecting for a minute, but did you know that it kind of reminded me when she was confronting Clark that she would accept him if he were meteor infected? That takes us a flashback from season 3 in the earlier season,
Yeah.
when we had to deal with the guy who hunts down meteor freaks, and we see that at the end that she was trying to get him to confess that he is special, and she still believes that he is still meteor infected. That feels like are we still keep going back to this again?
Yeah, we're going back to that well like one too many times. But now, getting to the sort of kind of main event of the evening, it is season 6, episode 16, called Promise.
Ever since I've been with Lana, I wake up wondering, is today gonna be the day when she sees who I really am? I can't let you go through this.
What would you be willing to do to make sure that Lana's standing next to you at the altar?
Anything.
Clark has second thoughts about Lana marrying Lex, or like 25th thoughts, but regardless, Lana starts to have the same concerns. This is like the 50th round of second thoughts for her. Meanwhile, the doctor involved in the secret behind Lana's pregnancy threatens Lex with his knowledge. So, what can I say? This was just awful. This was just. I mean, I'm sure. Like,
I mean, here's the thing: the beginning of the episode, they play that stupid song, then seeing fucking Clark all depressed and moping around now that the day's the day that she's gonna marry Lex that he hates a lot, and having them, and then we see cutting back into the hospital when she's doing that baby monitoring, the ultrasound. Yeah, I just feel like, oh God, can we just get through this and rip the Band-Aid off because this is so stupid? And even the prom photo that he had, like, who the fuck took pictures in that angle? I know it's very nitpicky, but god damn, really? And he just tosses it right out the damn window in the barn.
one thing I will say though, that song "You Could Be Happy" by Snow Patrol is
You could be happy, and I won't know.
actually pretty good. I've listened to it several times. It's a very nice song.
I mean, they're great, but watching this episode of Contest, they just made the song more shitty.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's the best part of the episode, but really that's not saying that much. I cannot underscore how just this
It's like, I
episode.
will never listen to that song again. And you just, thank you, Smallville, for fucking ruining it.
It just is. And th- th- in my research, I found that there were some people comparing this to Rashomon in that it's from different perspectives and from different points of view. And we've been dragging out this whole like Lana thing for like 6.5 seasons. It's like
Ugh.
finally going to happen, and we all know that she doesn't actually want this. But
I'm just kind of getting sick of Clark just moping and whining. Like, well, she's getting married. He's such
Lois
a
is a
whiner.
regular. She is a regular in this show at this
Can we
point.
go through the relationship? We've been talking about this a million times, but I've said this a million times before that they should have just written her out of the show a long time ago because really there's not that much for her to do. They just need to build up some bullshit conflict to just trying to get Lex and Clark to hate each other even more and become mortal enemies because for some one girl, she like I've said this before and I'll say it again, she is fucking the fucking Helen of Troy for crying out loud. Like, what the hell's so special about this woman? Really, I don't get it.
It it makes no sense, and there's just like I'm pretty sure
Having
the
Lana ended up
blockbuster.
with Lex made no fucking sense.
I'm pretty sure the blockbuster haul this week must have included Clue with the multiple endings.
Yeah, the
Although I was
multiple
expect
fucking alternate ending.
the only thing I was
Yeah,
expecting
I
in
mean,
this
I'm all about having like different characters for different angles, even if they had to re-show the same fucking footage again, but with a different perspective. I mean, I'm all about that, but I just didn't think it was handled that very well, especially with in the basement in the wine cellar. They showed it twice, and it looked like that the actors are reacting differently from those lines, especially the second part when we see Lana's perspective. We see Clark taking off in super speed and we don't see that visual effect style when he takes off in super speed and you don't hear the sound, you just hear there just boom blank nothing. But when we saw from Clark's angle we see the special effects, so I don't know if that was intentional, if that's how the people see him when he runs off in super speed, or maybe that was just some technical problem that they didn't really finish to do. I don't know, maybe I'm just reading too much into it.
But Lex kills the doctor in what I would imagine is some kind of a haunted house at a Methodist church, with the only thing missing being a trunk or treat. This
Playing
thing,
that fucking church music like we're coming off of a fucking monster flick. Like,
this
what the fuck is that? And also, yeah, he gets so overheated, beats the living crap, beats the day him half to death, and inadvertently kills him because he's blackmailing him all of a sudden when he's been helping out what was going on with Lana's pregnancy. But we as audience have no idea what the hell that is. They are still keeping that mystery. What the hell did he do so bad to Lana for her pregnancy? There's got to be more to it, and I know that's going to get touched on later. And I'm curious to see what was your take on it.
I have a theory. It involves also in the blockbuster hall Rosemary's Baby. Like if you know, you know. But
You know the nightmare. You saw the nightmare from Lex's angle that he just
I
watches from the fucking projector in his nightmare, and you see a baby going like a fucking. That was definitely a Rosemary's Baby that you just brought up. Like, what the fuck is happening right now? I think that was just more a metaphor of his fears of what he will see if his son turns out to be like him as a monster, kind of like history repeat itself.
But
Yeah.
Lex kills the doctor in the leftover set from an Edward R. Wood Jr. film, stuffs the body into one of the caskets, and then Lionel shows up. By the way, I found the doctor's body in there, so now you're mine. And I'm just sitting there like, haven't this is like season one stuff. Like this is season one stuff with the
He could,
dynamics
I
for
know he
her.
couldn't even get it. He couldn't pull off a good, like, get like disposing a body when he's done it many times before. And this time around, he didn't have time to figure out what the hell to do. And he's so shocked that he killed a man. You killed a man before, you fucking idiot. What the hell is the writers doing? Like, it makes no sense. Like, oh my God, I killed him in his own shocking response. Like, what? He's killed many times before. Even when he doesn't do it himself, he has people to do it for him.
And he's like stuffs the body into like the thing. I'm like, somebody's gonna find out who or where that is eventually. Like just reckless for
Dude, the
no.
doctor just suddenly just decides to confront Lex and blackmailing him to give him $2 million. Otherwise, he'll reveal to Lana and tell her everything and just ruin his whole relationship and his whole marriage. Like, why are you waiting now on the day of the fucking wedding? Like, what the hell's going on right now? You've been helping him for whatever it is that you were doing, and suddenly you want to just say, fuck it, I'm going to blackmail him. I got some dirt on him. I'm going to put some dirt in your eye.
I just think that was really stupid, by the way, when Lionel is just, Lionel, of course, then finds, like, once he kills the doctor, Lionel literally is like, this. I love it. I loved when Lionel smacked him in the face and then just like
He's backhand him like, you're pathetic.
threatening Lex. Yeah, I like that. I also, I like that Lionel was, basically blackmail Lex and for Lex killing the doctor. I thought that was really well done and everything. Then I only thing I didn't like was when Lex was like, "What do you want? Do you 33.1 control Luthor?" When I'm like, Lex would never be that. Like, no, he would just be like, he should be like, try it.
Yeah,
It's like,
this is literally going back to
Lex.
season 1. This is season 1 Lex all over again, and this is pretty much like season 1 of Lionel. How did you feel once we saw Lana's perspective? That now that when she was about to have second thoughts and leave Lex and about to be with Clark, yeah, but also when Lionel shows up, Lionel somehow, like, barely inconvenience, shows up out of nowhere, finds the right time to threaten her to kill Clark if she doesn't go through with the marriage. What was your take on it? But hold on, what was your take on it, Ryan? Like, how did you feel about that whole turn? Do you think that he meant what he said? And or there might be some more to it and why he's trying to force Lana into marrying Lex?
I feel like Lex is marrying Lana because part of him does in fact love her, but at the same time, like, he just wants to get back at Clark, like, in any way that he can. And so, like, he knows that, like, Clark still has deep feelings for Lana all these years later. And so it just, any way that he can, he's going to do it. And like
Like, do
any
you think that Lionel's going back to the old Lionel again after he just threatened Lana to killing Clark? What, like, do you think? Do you really believe that he meant what he said, or there has to be more to it? There's got to be a logical explanation why he's doing it.
there's got to be a reason. Like, if I've watched this show long enough to know that they wouldn't go back to like old stuff like this unless there was a reason. And so I think there is a compelling reason for it.
Yeah,
But
even at the time when that episode came on, when that scene came up, I was like, this can't be real. That would be so out of character for Lionel after all that all had to watch and had been through that, because Clark and Lionel are allies and he's Jor-El's vessel. So why would why would they devolve him back to the old Lionel again? That it just wouldn't make any sense.
I will say I did like that idea that Lionel was threatening Lex to marry Clark or he will kill Lana. Like, I really
No,
like
he
that.
would kill. No, he would kill Clark if she doesn't go through with the marriage.
That's what I said. He was threatening Lex to marry Clark, or else he'd kill Lana.
No, you said he was threatening Lex. No, he was threatening Lana to marrying him. Otherwise, he will kill Clark. That's what happened.
That's what I mean. Sorry, I must have misphrased it.
You're getting the names mixed up, dude.
Oh, it says in my notes, Lionel threatening Lex to marry Clark, or else he will kill Lana.
yo,
I was like, what?
You're gonna marry Clark, Lex, and you're gonna like it too.
the clacks will indeed happen. But
Everybody, oh my God, can you imagine? The clicks would have happened. People are just like, if Clark was like, I object, Lana, I'm sorry, but Lex, I love you. And Lex is like, this is all I've ever wanted, Clark. This is all I've ever wanted. And then he picks Lex up, walks out the aisle. And then everybody's like, and then Lana's like, what the fuck? And then people next week, the ratings go, combat happens, the ratings are even down even
Don't
more.
you think the nightmare that Clark had in the beginning, that the whole married the wedding sequence where he's having a nightmare and he just jabs the fucking dagger into Lex? Well, that was a little bit too overdramatic. And first of all, why would he use a dagger when he could just kill him with his bare hands? I mean, you have special abilities. I would believe that nightmare more at least from Lana's angle, but from Clark's angle, that really didn't make any sense. And then she just stabs herself, went all fucking Romeo and Juliet style.
yeah, and the thing that I wanted to point out just was annoying was and Collins pointed this out in our private chat, but the fact that they did like time of wedding 7:22 a.m. I'm like, what is this, a silent movie? Like, why are we doing what?
It does
what
feel like a
was
silent
that?
movie. And also, we got Aunt Nell return. She returned in this episode after like 4 or 5 seasons ago. The last time we saw her, she was moving into Metropolis, and that was the last time we saw her in season 2. And then she finally came back for one episode.
So this whole episode is it's just dumb. That's the best way that I can describe it. But Collins, what say you 1 to 10?
Well, all right. Well, first off, I do have some stuff. I will say I did like that. The dreaming of Lana dreaming about Clark saving her from the Twister. I thought that was great. I like Aunt Nell returning. I thought that was pretty cool. Clark showing up but doesn't object. That to me, I honestly like that because it shows that Superman won't intervene. Like, she made her choice. He won't intervene because that's not his place in this world. Like, he's the kind of guy. He's not he's not shallow. He's not like, I object. So he's like, you chose, I do. I'm not gonna bother you. You're gonna marry Lex. And I also like the Lionel and Lex in the church scene. And I like Lionel smacking him. And although I don't like this episode, like, this episode drags and it just keeps going from every fucking perspective. Feels like, this episode feels like who shot Lionel without no resolution, and the mausoleum looks like it belongs at Spirit Halloween. And we just keep getting wedding. Oh, also, yeah, we keep getting that web every fucking 5 minutes. We get that wedding invitation thing. It's like every 5 minutes. It's like the wedding, LL wedding. 10:55.
Well, comparing to the murder mystery from what you're comparing, I mean, there were 2 different perspectives. They were just telling their story of what they were speculating and how that went down. This one's just showing you different perspectives from these characters, and I agree, it was stupid. I didn't like how they didn't really handle it very well.
Title card too.
Like Ryan said, it was like a silent film from what Ryan said.
That's like, also, where the fuck is Henry Smalls at? Shouldn't he be walking Lana down the aisle?
Yeah, he was a character that was used for several episodes as an important part about Lana's life, and then they never mention him ever. None. Like it never happened. Like, what is the writers doing? Do they just simply say, fuck it, just let retcon this shit?
It's not that important.
Like, yeah, he's not important. Don't worry about it.
But 1 to 10, Jacob, what do you got?
2 out of 10. 2 out of 10.
All right, Matt, what about you?
It was a painful to get through. I know that they were setting it up as an eventful episode since Justice at the time when it was on the CW, and yeah, I was like, oh, can you please let me get through this? As someone who has watched the show for years and watched it like religiously and watched it 1 episode per week, and I had to wait and I feel like this was like when we had to take it I think it was like a month break when it was during earlier the year. If I remember correctly, I can't remember. But yeah, this was a painful. I'm glad that we had to rip the Band-Aid off and then end it on a depressing note and Clark crying like a little baby. But I'm probably gonna give this thing a 3. It's awful.
I'm giving this a 1. This was a slog, and I'm giving 1 entire 1 to Snow Patrol for that very nice song at the beginning, and that is literally it. But now we are moving on to easily the best of the 3 this week, and that's not saying...
Well, yeah, it was Mortal Kombat meets Fight Club in with WWE all in one.
This episode, I'm not gonna lie, this episode is micromanaging at its finest, because literally the studio literally must have put fucking notes in this episode saying, this is we need to at least have 1 WWE episode dedicated to SmackDown versus Raw. And they're like, look, we don't want to do that. And they're like, just do 1 episode. And they're like, this is the episode. Like, fuck it. Make it. Just write whatever. Really? All right. And they wrote it, and it turns out to be the best fucking episode of the 3
It turned out to be fucking awesome. It was so fucking raw.
This could have been like,
no pun intended.
But this is season 6, episode 17, called Combat.
We located the Fight Club. An ultimate soldier from another world.
Kal-El.
He can kill you.
He's the key to Lex's deadly plan.
Titan decimated some of the toughest meteor freaks out there. Keep me updated on your progress.
Smallville. All new episode next Thursday on the new CW.
Clark and Chloe discovered that Titan, Kane, another alien escapee from the Phantom Zone, is the hulking star of a secret fight club whose bloody bare-knuckle battles to the death are broadcast on the internet. Lois smells a story, and investigates on her own, but is captured by fight manager slash presenter Maddox, the Bell Rev administrator.
Discount Ethan Hawke.
Convenient, and forced to become wrestler Athena's first opponent. To save Lois, Clark reveals his ability to catch bullets to Maddox so he can fight Titan, but is stunned to face Lois in the ring instead. Lana returns from her honeymoon with Lex, whose men are looking for Titan, but she's more uncertain about living the life of wealthy and powerful and has trouble with her pregnancy. So let's get the Lana stuff out of the way first, because this is easily the drag.
Yeah, it's a drag. We're gonna get that shit out of the way first.
I will say the one thing I did like is when Lana lost the baby, because and then you like whenever Lex looks at the security guard, I'm like, that to me was the doctor.
No, and the way
like,
he was looking at the doctor, he was looking at another doctor that he hired. And the way that he's staring, at the way they're staring at each other, making eye contact, yeah, there's something a little fishy and very convenient timing after they got
Oh, just
through
wait
the wedding.
until you see what happened, the full picture, Ryan. You're gonna look at Lex like he's a fucking monster.
Yeah, you're gonna look at him as like, dude, the writers really make him a piece of shit and done something that was very low that it could be very unforgiving.
You won't believe what he does.
Yeah, you're like, what? Are you fucking serious?
Like, that's dark even for Smallville.
Like I don't think they would ever do something like that today. I mean, I can't believe that, dude. If this worked, if that part was revealed today, the people on social media would lose their fucking mind. They were like, Lex Luthor's a piece of shit. Fuck him. I don't think they would ever get away with it.
No, they would never. But I feel like there is at least something to this. I'm looking forward to seeing if there is a reveal to this. I know you all can't tell me. Put in the Mission Impossible clip. It has been a minute.
I can neither confirm nor deny details of any such operation without the Secretary's approval.
But I know you all can't tell me, but I hope that there is a resolve of some kind to this. But let's talk about the combat stuff, because this stuff was awesome. Shout out first of all to Ashley, who plays Athena here, Ashley Massaro. Her story is genuinely just awful. I'll put a pause and read here. Like explaining what happened to her. It's truly tragic, but that's neither here nor there for this. But she was great. And then the main star is that's gotta be Kane as Titan, which was just genuinely really cool to see.
Yeah, they really like promoted this like for like a WWE because the WWE special, especially this was like the CW, they only had SmackDown and Raw had like USA. So yeah. And I thought that was interesting. This really did fit the role for him.
This was awesome. I mean, I really was like looking forward to this.
Like he was on a next level with Dave Bautista for that type of character. This character is just all about looking for a fight and someone who has shares his strength, levels the same playing field. And he's been stalling more and more to find the Kryptonian, the last son of Krypton. And Clark is now trying to do his own heroic things, tracking down 33.1, helping out Oliver, blah, blah, blah. He was keeping himself distracted after his big heart broken from what happened at the fucking wedding. And I thought that this was where he was going a little bit more dark and more ruthless this time around.
You know what I did like about this? I did like that Lois fighting the WWE girl Ashley. I thought that was pretty cool. And I also like the callback to Lois being a stripper, because she goes, I do a great Stars and Stripes routine.
Yeah, I spotted that.
Like, this whole episode is basically two things. This is dedicated to guys, because you have like sexy women, and then you have like dudes fighting in cages. I'm like, seriously,
we have sexy badass chicks fighting each other in a cat fight.
The start of the episode is a girl getting dressed. She's naked, and then she gets dressed, and then to like a sexy schoolgirl outfit. And I'm just like, you can tell this episode is designed for men. It's like, look, guys, I know we did lovey-dovey bullshit in the last episode, but we're ready to make your dick hard this week.
And people love Ashley Massaro, so she's such a popular at the WWE diva. So yeah, we're gonna shoot this in a fucking locker room or getting dressed.
Why would someone shower in an abandoned factory and let somebody watch her get dressed? Like, seriously, this guy's just sitting there creeping on her, just going, yeah.
He's so stereotypical on level of creep.
Yeah, and she's okay with it, even though she's like literally. But I did like when she was flirting with Lois. I thought that was pretty freaking cool because I was like, I was probably watching it going, oh, I gotta go to the bathroom. I'll be right back. That's what Ryan was watching. Is like, I'll
She
be
wanted
right
to get
back.
a story because her salary is about to get screwed, and she needed a story, the big
I mean,
story.
seriously, that was like, I mean, this episode. I'm not gonna lie. That this episode, if you're a guy, I'm not gonna lie, you're gonna leave with a smile on your face. Okay.
It ain't the
Yeah.
only thing.
Yeah, well, you're gonna leave with something else. This is gonna be growing inside your pants, but it's not gonna be. It's not. It's gonna be. It's not gonna be. It's not gonna be wasteful. That's all I said. But I will say, I did really. The only thing I didn't like was Lois's outfit. So why would she wear that outfit? That is a terrible outfit to wear. I was thinking like, wouldn't it make more sense if she just has a leather jacket on and like blue jeans? Why would she wear like a full?
Because Clark is already wearing the leather jacket and the dark jeans. It
A
would probably
red
be a
jacket
little
would have been
too.
fine too. But why? I've never seen Lois dressed like that. You could tell somebody they wanted to give her like a costume for the week. That was like a studio note because there's no way she would dress her like that. I just look at that outfit and I'm like, that's stupid. That is a stupid outfit to have Erica Durance wear. Small Talk Fashion Police is back. What do you guys need? Yay or nay on Erica Durance's Lois Lane the leather outfit? Yay or nay?
Nay. I mean, just based on the practicality, like just nay. Like,
I mean, the outfit is a nay, but with her wearing it, it's a yay. With her wearing it,
Lois, you're sexy, but he says it's not very practical. If you fight someone in leather, all it is going to, and also you're going in leather does not breathe well. When he says when you're especially fighting.
yeah. But even comparing to what the first act the X-Men trilogy, they were all wearing matching leather outfits, which that wasn't even practical.
I mean, yeah, but yeah, they made it work. They couldn't even get over the side of a building. Okay, remember that behind?
Yeah, I saw that video.
They're
Like,
trying to get over the Statue of
they
Liberty.
try to jump over that, they can't even do it.
Yeah, Ryan, on X-Men the first one, remember when they step over the Statue of Liberty to go into the Statue of Liberty? They couldn't get over the thing because the leather outfits were too constricting. And so like Hugh Jackman tried to hobble over it by like sliding himself over it.
And he tripped.
And so they were just like, so they had to get like a stepping stool to get them to step over it because they couldn't.
It was the funniest shit. It's so funny that you see the behind the scenes that, like, dude, we see the suits, they know how to make it work, but in reality, it's not very practical.
Yeah. I do like that. I didn't like the guy, the announcer looks like a discount Ethan Hawke.
Yeah, he does. He looks
does.
like a Walmart.
He really does.
He looks like a creepy cracked addict. His like coke-headed cousin in a creepy way.
I also what else I didn't like about I got like some notes also
How they were able to get away with that underground fight club and make it go viral and then very, very encrypted. Like,
there's even a Vince McMahon. This episode is so WWE. There's even a Vince McMahon joke where they refer to the
yeah, Chloe name dropped it. Yeah, he's like Vince McMahon wannabe.
Which
also
just tastes like milk in the Florida sun. If you know, you know.
Also, the live or die thing has to be rigged because what if everyone chooses live? They're not gonna let this guy live. He knows that they're gonna kill him.
Some people are very fucking sick in the head and that they want to see it die. It's literally a modern day Gladiator. When back in the during the ancient times, most people were entertained to see two titans like fucking fight to the death, and they're always saying die, die, die. They always want the opponent who lost the fight die. They want that. They eat that up.
Yeah, but that would never,
it's human nature. It's definitely human nature. They like seeing.
They would make it rigged because what if everybody chooses live? Then
it probably was rigged, and you're probably right. It was rigged, especially it was not recorded in front of a live. It was not recorded in front of a live studio audience.
Also, you see that. Remember when Kane just knocks the announcer, the Ethan Hawke dude, the fuck out and then breaks him in half?
Yeah,
there they walk in. They say his legs are over there and his body is contorted over there where he's like this, and I'm like, he's fucking dead because his legs are over there.
Yeah, he doesn't need the announcer guy anymore. He's found the last son of Krypton. That's what he was been waiting for. He's been waiting to fight him for a long time, and that fight was absolutely
he knocks
badass.
The fuck out of Clark.
Yeah, but he was holding back because I paid attention to the fight. He's pulling his punches, but apparently he could take a hit, and it's literally like a reminiscent or very reminiscent to the Justice League Unlimited series when Superman fights Darkseid, figuring out that he could definitely take a hit, and it was a great opportunity for him to cut loose because he's been trying to control his abilities, keeping his strength at a minimum and restrained because he's afraid that he might accidentally hurt someone or worse, kill someone. And this was a perfect opportunity for him to cut loose and show you how powerful I really am.
This episode, all this fight needed was Jim Ross going, he's stomping a mud hole and walking it dry.
I love how they did the practical fight that was not like done crazy CGI crap. They kept the
stunt double hits the cage and goes straight to the floor. I'm like, damn.
Hitting the concrete. Oh my god, like that. Like this was like so much on par than what we saw the Jonathan versus Clark fight in the beginning of season 3. This one took it a different.
There was some CGI that didn't age well, especially when
Clark was flying, flying.
You see him like going like this whenever he hits the ground. Just goes. I'm like, what the fuck? Okay, like you could have just fell down instead. Of just like you see him go like this whenever Kane goes, oh, and then he hits the ground. Like a
well, yeah, because he fucking knocked the living crap out of him. He just underestimated how powerful Clark really is.
When he went like this, like
he was not pulling, like he stopped pulling his punches the moment that he just grabbed his fist. He's like, okay, my turn. He really wanted to fucking rip him apart.
He was going to kill him. He was literally there to kill him.
And you could tell from that moment that it felt good for him to let it all go and let go of everything and not restrain himself and just let it rip.
Clark just goes, he knocks him the fuck out too. And then he inadvertently kills the guy because this thing goes in his heart.
I mean, he did inadvertently kill 2 characters twice when we covered the 3 episodes. One in Freak, when he stops the doctor, when he blocks out that fucking electrocution thing, whatever the hell that was, and backfires. He could inadvertently kill that man.
I mean, Clark's on a killing spree. He's got like 30
I hear a lot of people bitching like Superman doesn't kill. Really?
He killed 30 people in this episode.
How many times did he inadvertently kill someone throughout the whole show?
And I'm 90% sure if I go back in the Superman comics in 1938, I'm sure I could find some issues where Superman killed somebody.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that there's
Batman killed people in the comics, the 1938 comics. There's a couple of comics where Batman throws a guy overboard and the kid drowns. Literally, and then what happened was that doctor wrote a book, and then they had to come up with a comic book code, and they made all the supers couldn't kill anymore. I know Batman's killed in the comics. I just don't know if Superman has.
Oh, Superman has killed before. They're like people just are not.
Batman, Batman threw a guy overboard. He drowned. He fell to his death in the water and drowned.
He killed a lot of people in Injustice.
Well, yeah, when he first lost his mind and when he loses Lois.
He kills the guy in The Dark Knight Returns when he gets the machine gun, and then he shoots the guy in the head.
Yeah, Batman did kill the Joker. He did kill the Joker in The Dark Knight Returns and
No. Joker snapped his own neck, basically.
But no, he snapped the Joker's neck because the Joker was snapped. He wasn't expecting the Joker to survive that. He just snapped his neck, and the Joker survived it. And then the Joker finished the job off.
Yeah, because in that moment he snapped his neck.
With the intent to kill.
Yeah, he did intend to kill him from that moment. Like you said, he didn't think that he was going to survive a neck snap.
Yeah, and he was just like, it was like, wow. The only reason why he survived the neck snap is because
did you ever see the whole montage video of Batman killing in movies? They the YouTuber guy that was.
Batman has killed. He's
killed before.
He kills in the Batman.
And people bitched about it in BVS, and there's YouTuber calls them out on their bullshit like, hey, look at the bunch of list of fucking kill counts of every other variations of Batman.
In the new Batman movie, when the Riddler's up there, the Riddler's henchmen are up there, and then one guy takes a shotgun, and then Batman turns, and then he shoots the other guy in the chest. I'm like, you literally just killed that guy because you moved out of the way and shot him through the chest.
Yeah, if you want to get all technical,
you moved down. And also that when he's chasing the Penguin on the highway, how many people did he kill there? Whenever he just killed 20 henchmen on there.
I mean, Michael Keaton's Batman did kill the Joker. He killed a lot of his men, even in the side of the fucking built inside the tower. When he just grabs his by the dude's neck and falls all the way down to his death. How do you think you think he survived that? Did he go to sleep?
After 2 really bad episodes, this was much needed and deserved.
Yep, I did like this episode. This episode was really well done. I really enjoy. I love watching this. Every time I see this episode, it makes me happy because it's so good. It's sexy. It's dangerous. It has a good story pacing, and Honestly, if they would just got rid of that, if Lex and Lana would not have been this entire episode, I would have been happy. Because their episode, this storyline, that's the only time where I was like, this episode fucking sucks.
Well, Jacob, 1 to 10, what do you give this?
I'm gonna give this a 9 out of 10.
Okay, Matt, what about you?
Yeah, I'm giving it like a 9 out of 10.
You know what? We are simpatico. I'm going 9. This was just a blast. Is this my favorite episode of the season? I don't think so necessarily, but man, after just the past two, like this was just
What's next?
Exactly what the doctor ordered. And as far as next,
I feel like the writers were like, "Hey, let's get the bad taste out of their mouths for those last 2 episodes."
Been eating shit for 2 weeks. Let us eat some dessert.
No, just like imagine you, Ryan, and watching it week to week episode and going through the pain of some of the awful episodes.
Well, next week's
episode. Yeah.
Next week it is Progeny, Nemesis, and Noir.
Oh fuck Noir!
God, fuck Noir! Fuck that up
Fucking
the
Noir.
ass! Like I will,
You won't believe.
I'm declaring this right now. It is the worst episode of the whole series. Fucking period. Not just the season, not just a certain episode. The worst one of the series. Pointless as fuck. Like what the hell are we watching?
It's like it steals from Boy Meets World.
Yeah, they literally stole that. They really ripped off Boy Meets World episode. If you've seen the show, you'll know what we're talking about.
But I pass it off to all of you. What did you all think of these episodes? Let us know in the comments. I love to read what you have to say. It's a privilege to have done this show for a year with these guys, and here's to even more years after this. But Collins, your channel's linked in the description. What do you got coming up?
Nothing.
All right, Matt, what about you?
Well, he just ripped the band-aid off just like that. Anyway, like, yeah, if you want to follow my social media links, the link tree will be down in the description below on this video. And definitely subscribe to my YouTube channel. My goal is to reach 500 subscribers. And check out my couple of my latest review of my non-spoiler review for Deadpool and Wolverine. I did a Road to Deadpool and Wolverine that you can go and check it out as well. And my latest video that I reviewed is the M. Night Shyamalan movie Trap. So be sure to check that out. Leave a like and all that stuff. And if you want to see me do a spoiler discussion, I did it on Ryan's channel. That Jake and Ryan, all three of us, did a spoiler discussion. So definitely check that out as well. It was a blast talking about Deadpool and Wolverine.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, and I also we also just recently did of the Road to Alien Romulus when we were talking about James Cameron's Aliens, just recent.
Yeah, so that Road to Alien Romulus is currently going on the channel. I want to shout out to you, Matt, for being a part of my Aliens review. That video is blowing up right now. So
yeah, surprisingly, I did not see that one coming. I mean, your X-Men 2 blew up a lot more. It got like, how many views now? Over 1,000?
It more than that, but I am blessed. That is the point I'm trying to get at. I have been blessed with these Road to series in the past, but the Road to Alien Romulus continues. I am going to be talking about Alien 3 with Blacktastic, or TJ from Blacktastic Media, and then Alien Resurrection. Your prayers are greatly accepted for that one. But for Jacob Collins, who is in the dark, for Matt Wyatt, my name is Ryan Cam. We will see you all in the next one. For Truth or Justice for the American Way, always hold on to Smallville. Y'all take care.